Hello everybody and welcome to the unboxing and review of the CBD Tarot De Marseille. Now, it is not CBD like THC, although I do love that reference, but it is CBD because of the name of the artist, Nicolas Conver. So the C would be for CBD, that would be the C part. The BD part we're gonna actually find out together, but it is, actually the BD is right here. So it's Dr. Yoav Ben Dov. That would be the BD part. So then you have a faithful reproduction of the traditional tarot cards based on the most influential and esteemed deck published by Nicolas Conver in Marseille, 1760. So how cool is that? Now, if you're familiar with the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, I have the box right here. As you can see, the Tarot de Marseille, this version anyway, is a little bit thinner. Actually, let's get the cards out. So I have this one that I got from US Games, same publisher that does the Rider-Waite-Smith. And it's just a tuck box like this. A pretty sturdy box, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty good quality box. Then we have our cards. Of course, you have your introduction card. And then you have these backs that are pretty simple. You know, I mean, I don't find them ugly. I don't find them to be, of course, beautiful, as we see in now more modern decks where people really pay attention to the backs. But let's just take real quick one of my very used Tarot the Rider-Waite-Smith. And as you can see, it's a little bit thinner, but about the same size. Which, if that bothers you, then that's just something for you to watch out for. But I'm very okay with that. Okay, so let's get started. Now, the cardstock of this is actually really good. Like, it's a little bit bendy, but not too much. Where you can tell that this isn't going to like warp, and it's gonna last you a pretty long time, honestly. Now, I have been reading tarot cards for quite a few years now. I put a tarot scopes every month here in the channel, so if you have your sign, you can totally go and watch it for, well, I'm recording this in July, so for August of 2021, it's already up there. But if you're watching this at different times, so, it doesn't matter. So here you go, Tarot de Marseille. Now, like I was saying, I've been reading tarot for a while, and I never loved the white book that comes with the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. To me, it kind of like doesn't really make sense with what I'm reading, which is just funny enough. But this one is actually really good, because if you're not familiar with Tarot de Marseille, I will show you the cards, but it is a little bit of a different system. But I do like how you have, for example, the Chariot here, you have what it means, and then the message, and then it gives you the inverse, which means the reversal. So if a card is like this, then its reversal or inverse would be upside down. Now, a lot of these cards, they look the same no matter which way you flip it. And we're gonna go through them, of course we will. But then you have Two of Coins, for example, duality, two options or two elements, blah, blah, blah. And then inverse, similar. So it's almost like for some of the cards, see, similar, but then here, Seven of Coins, inverse, lack of independence. So Seven of Coins does have a meaning, but many of the other ones, they just say similar, which honestly, I don't mind. Now, this is only my opinion. I wouldn't recommend the Tarot de Marseille for a very beginner. And we're gonna see why, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys all 78 cards. This one in particular has 79. It says includes 79 cards. And of course, I'm going to show you all of them. Now, if you don't want to see all of them, you can double tap on your screen. It skips about 10 seconds ahead. If you're on your desktop, you can scroll forward, or you can just skip this part altogether if you like to be surprised. Okay, let's get to it. Now, whatever finishing they put on these cards feels really good. So I'm going to full disclosure, this is in French, which I love. I know some words in French, but you can figure out by the image which card is which, So this would be the Fool, the Magician. I do love these very traditional European designs. I do. The Empress. Now, these two, sometimes, that's why I like history too of the tarot, because when you look at the emperors and the emperor, you can see with the shield, both of them have a shield, both of them have a staff going on. Now, in this case, they're not looking at each other as they are in the Thoth system, but you can kind of see the history of how it developed into the Rider-Waite-Smith and Thoth systems. Le Pape would be the Hierophant. L'amoureux is the lovers. The Chariot. Justice. The Hermit. I do love these prime colors as well. It's just so interesting to me. Now, this one, strength is number 8. I know sometimes, depending on Thoth or Rider-Waite systems, they strength and justice change from 8 to 11. The Hanged Man. Death was always the unnamed card. So we have the Fool, which is the unnumbered card. There's no number on top, but he's got a name. And Death has a number, but no name. It's always been the unnamed card. Temperance, the Devil. I've always found the Devil in these traditional, like medieval, I guess would be the word maybe. I just always found the Devil to be so funny. This one, of course, we can see some genitalia, but on other Tarot de Marseille, you kind of see like another face on it, and I just always find that to be kind of funny. The Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and the World. The World is pretty traditional, I think. Now, in this case, they put a blank slate. And I read the book and I was like, wait, is this just like an extra card or what's going on here? So I read the book, and this, I don't think that this is traditional to Rider-Waite-Smith, but I guess they just did it for this one. I'm sorry, for Marseille, Tarot de Marseille. I said Rider-Waite-Smith. For Tarot de Marseille. I don't think it's traditional to that to have a white card. But in the book, it says this means you can use this in the cards or you can just toss it. I chose to keep it because I like keeping all the cards together for some reason. I just like that. But the book says it means a blank slate. It's a blank canvas. You know, whatever you've been trying to start or design or something is up to you. So I like that. Okay. So here we have the Wands, Ace of Wands. Now here's where we get that similar reversal, right? Because we have 2 of Wands, but it looks the same the other way. So it's entirely up to you if you are one of those people that like to write maybe keywords on the actual page. You can do reversals or not. 3 of Wands, same thing. This will be the 4 of Wands. But you see there's a subtle difference in the 4 of Wands. The flowers here look different. This one I don't really see any subtle differences, but this one I do. So it's up to you if you like to do reversals, or if you must do reversals, or if you don't care. This one, same thing with the 6 of Wands. Now, this is why I don't recommend Tarot de Marseille for a very beginner. Because 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, they're just wands. You know, the Rider-Waite-Smith has more of a scene to it. Even the major arcana cards, we see something, we see something going on, right? But not so much for, so I'm sure you've heard it out there, but if you haven't, here's a bit of a lesson. These are called pip cards or pip decks. Pip just really means that the pip, the suit, it's just this. 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. That's really what it is on the cards. So that's called a pip deck. This will be the Page of Wands, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. Then we get into the Cups, the Ace of Cups. I do love this Ace of Cups. It's just beautiful. Then you get your 2 of Cups. Now, the cups are easier too, because you can see that the cups are upside down. So these are easier for you to figure out if they're reversals or not. Page of Cups, the Knight of Cup, the Queen, and the King. Then we get into the Swords. This Ace of Swords is pretty traditional to the Rider-Waite-Smith and the Thoth system as well. So it's kind of cool. Again, I love kind of looking back at historical images and being like, oh, that's how we got the modern approach. Now, here's also another thing that can be confusing if you're a beginner to Marseille style. See how these are curved? This is a Two of Swords. This is the Three of Swords. So this is a pretty, let's say, literal sword. These two aren't so much, right? Now we get to the Four of Swords. Now, it is very similar to the Wands, right? These two suits are very similar. Now, the Wands are straight bars. The Swords are curved. But, you know, as you can see, they use what? About 4 to 5 colors, 3 to 4 to 5 colors in this whole deck. So, just warning you, if you're brand new, it can be a little bit confusing. This will be the Five of Swords, the 6. See, but then, so the 6 of Swords and the 7, and like even this one too, it's easier to see when they're reversed or not. We got the 9. Sorry, this is the 8. Now is the 9. And then the 10 of Swords. I mean, I find this deck to be beautiful. This is, I don't have a huge collection of Marseille style decks. Actually, I only have 2 Marseille styles. This one and the other one called Tattoo, Tarot, Ink, and Intuition. It's a more modernized version of the Rider-Waite-Smith. But this version, the CBD Tarot de Marseille, I've seen a lot of reviews out there of Marseilles, and I love them all. They're all so beautiful. And of course, go for what you vibe and what you like. The deck has to speak to you. This is the Ace of Coins now. And then the Two of Coins. This is just beautiful. It's like the signature of the artist, right? The Convert 1760, Bend of 2010. So it's re-released in 2010. This will be the what do they call it here? Reproduction, a faithful reproduction. So this one, as I was saying, is my favorite. It's out of the Marseilles that I've seen out there, because I do like clean lines like this. Some of them look very medieval, which I appreciate. And I love looking at the unboxings. I love watching people like work with them and use them. But for me, this one just really spoke to me. And I've been using it for quite a while, so I love it. Sometimes I kind of get a little bit lost because while I have used this deck for, actually now for a few months, so not that long of a time, but for a few months, but I haven't used it consistently. So sometimes I still stop and I go, wait a minute, okay, 9. This is the 9. Because as you can see, there are no Roman numerals. Now, there are Roman numerals in the Wands, and there are Roman numerals in the Swords. Now, where are the cups? We just went through the cups. So the cups have them as well, but the coins don't. I don't know why, to be honest. I'm not the scholar to teach you guys the why that is. But you know, so sometimes I maybe stop and I'm like, wait, how many is that? Okay, now I know what we're talking about. Our Queen, and finally the King. Here are the backs once again. I like these backs. They're simple. They're just beautiful, simple backs. Nothing crazy about it. Cardstock, I love. I know that this deck is going to last me a very long time. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this boxing and review of the CBD Tarot de Marseille. Have a beautiful day out there.